Jai Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivajakacharya Ashtoshatra Shatra His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vindi Ki Jai Granthraha Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I would like to welcome you all for our today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto 1, chapter number 13, entitled as Dhritarashtra Quits Home, and text number 23. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Text number 23. Aho
Aho
Mahiyashi
Mahiyashi
Jantor
Jantor
Jivitasa
Jivitasa
Yatha
Yatha
Bhavan
Bhavan
Bhima Apavarjitam
Bhima Apavarjitam
Pindam
Pindam
Adate
Adate
Graha
Graha
Palava
Palava
Aho Mahiyashi Janto
Aho Mahiyashi Janto
Jivatasa Yatha Bhavan
Jivitasa Yatha Bhavan
Bhima Apavarjitam Pindam
Bhima Apavarjitam Pindam
Adate Graha Palava.
Adate Graha Palava.
Okay, word to word meaning. Aho,
Aho
alas,
Alas
Mahiyashi,
Mahiyashi
powerful,
Powerful
Jantoho,
Jantoho
of the living beings,
of the living beings
Jivita Asha,
Jivita Asha
hope for life,
Hope for life
Yatha,
Yatha
as much as,
as much as
Bhavan,
Bhavan
you are,
you are
Bhima,
Bhima
of Bhimsena,
of
a
Bhimsena
brother of Yudhishthras,
brother of Yudhishthira
Apavarjitam,
Apavarjitam
remnants,
remnants
Pindam,
Pindam
foodstuff,
Foodstuff
Adate,
Adate
eaten by,
eaten by
Grahapalava,
Grahapalava
like a household dog.
like a household dog.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Translation. Alas, how powerful are the hopes of a living being to continue his life. Verily, you are living just like a household dog and are eating remnants of food given by Bhima. Purport. A sadhu should never flatter kings or rich men to live comfortably at their cost. A sadhu is to speak to the householders about the naked truth of life so that they may come to their senses about the precarious life in material existence. Dhritarashtra is a typical example of an attached old man in household life. He had become a pauper in the true sense, yet he wanted to live comfortably in the house of Pandavas, of whom Bhima specially is mentioned because personally he killed two prominent sons of Dhritarashtra, namely Duryodhan and Dushashana. These two sons were these two sons were very much dear to him for their notorious and nefarious activity, and Bhima is particularly pointed out because he killed these two pet sons. Why was Dhritarashtra living there at the house of the Pandavas? Because he wanted to continue his life comfortably, even at the risk of all the humiliation. Vidura, therefore, was astonished how powerful is the urge to continue life. This sense of continuing one's life indicates that a living being is eternally a living entity and does not want to change his bodily habitation. The foolish man does not know that a particular term of bodily existence is awarded to him to undergo a term of imprisonment, and the human body is awarded after many, many births and deaths as a chance for civilization to go back home, back to Godhead. But persons like Dhritarashtra try to make plans to live there in a comfortable position with profit and interest. For they do not see things as they are. Dhritarashtra is blind and continues to hope to live comfortably in the midst of all kinds of reverses of life. A sadhu like Vidura is meant to awaken such blind person and thus help them go back to Godhead, where life is eternal. Once going there, no one wants to come back to these material worlds of mysteries. We can just imagine how responsible a task is entrusted to a sadhu like Mahatma Vidura. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadayamayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Nanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari विश्वभानुसुते देवी परमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चाति देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा शिवासादि शिखर भक्त वृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimate Kadam Kanan Swami Namine. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, such a shaking word, such a powerful, and you can say it shakes the soul. And you must be thinking, why? Who is speaking this verse? Hmm? Mahatma Vidur. Yes, Vidur. Who is Vidur? Yeah, uncle of Pandava and Kauravas. Actually, Kauravas are the same. Pandavas are also been called Kauravas because they were the son of Pandus. That's what they call Pandavas here. So throughout his whole life, he's been Mahatma. He's a sadhu person by nature, and he was giving a very good advice. He was a well-wisher and a younger brother of Dhritarashtra. He was a younger brother of Dhritarashtra, and he was by nature a very saintly person. Throughout his whole life, he always advised Dhritarashtra a very good advice, a very spiritual and very peaceful advice, but he never followed. It's been said Dhritarashtra, he was blind by birth, but he was also blind spiritually. He was materially blind and he was spiritually blind. But he was so affectionate to his sons, especially Dhritarashtra and Dushashan. He had 100 sons, but especially these two people because they were the leading sons. Okay, whatever nonsense they do, just due to his weakness, attachment to his sons, he was not able to correct them. He says, if I'll say, my sons will be upset with me, and I don't want to make them upset. And you can see throughout the whole Mahabharata how much unfair things they have done to the world, especially to the Pandavas. Okay, they try to disrobe their wife, plundering their wealth, giving them poison, taking away all their possession and wealth, and just ask them to be in the exile for 14 years, and by cheated them in a gambling match, so much unfair things. And he was time to time, he was advising, shame on you, your sons are doing such a bad thing to your brother's children, and this Draupadi meant to be your daughter-in-law, but your other sons are disrobing her. Shame on you. Why don't you stop your sons? And he was stopped. He could not say anything. And then he gave a final nice warning or a nice advice to Dhritarashtra in the assembly of everyone. Bhishma Dev, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, Dushashan, Dhritarashtra, everybody was there. Because when they came back from exile, and he was asking them, he says, why don't you give them their share? That's why you have promised during the gambling match. Now you have lost the gamble, which was you cheated. Okay, and for your cheating, they accepted your cheating. They went, and now very fair means they are asking their shares because they are Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas not meant to beg; they are meant to rule. Just give them fine villages so they can rule. They can take some tax and they can live their life. He says no. And then his elder son Duryodhan, he used such a filthy language to insult his uncle Vidura. And Vidura, he understood as the blessings of the Lord. Now my time has come not to be with these rascal peoples here. Because I gave them my best, they didn't hear. What can I do? I should move on. He used such a filthy. I mean, how can you disrespect the uncle who is as same as your father's age? Never. We never do that to our such a relative, and that the relative is meant to be a saintly person by nature. But he did so because he was so crooked by nature. Because he was thinking, if my father will follow the plan of Vidura, so my plan it will go in vain. Because I want to capture all the properties or everything of the Pandava, and I want to be a king. But unfortunately, when the saintly people go away from our life, our misfortune starts. Our really misfortune starts when we go away from them or they go away from us. That is our misfortune starts, and that's what started Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, all the Kaurava Pandits. He left. There was no one there to guide them properly. Every everyone was just encouraging them. Yes, you can do more sinful activity. Yes, you can do more sinful activity, and that's what they did. He put his bow and arrow, quiver, everything at the door. He says to everybody, "Hare Krishna, I'm leaving," and he left. He left for pilgrimage. For many years, he was there around, and when he came back, his only purpose was because see, how can you come back to such a place where you have been insulted very badly? How can you come? Saintly people, they don't need the wealth, they don't need any kind of a material possession. All they need just a little respect, and that respect is only because they are representing the supreme personality of Godhead, and they just want people should hear the message of the God, because that's not their own message, that is a message of the God. So general public has to give them some kind of honor, because they don't take that honor on themselves. They pass on that same honor to the Gurujans, to their spiritual master, their spiritual master, their spiritual master. Ultimately, it goes to the supreme person. And that's why Vidura came only for one purpose, just to protect his elder brother, because he know that he wants to, but he cannot do it due to his miserly nature, his weakness in his heart, attachment to his sons. He came back only for one purpose. He just met his brother and his sister-in-law, and he really gave them such a harsh word. Today's words, you can say, he's saying, you have been just like a dog in someone's house, in that house that for many years you were trying to kill those people. You can imagine, if you are living in the same house, like we all are living in the same house, okay, and you are trying to kill the person, plunder the person, insult the person throughout the whole life, okay, and you have no possession, nowhere to go, nowhere to live, but still you are living in their house. You are living in their house and you are insulting them, but still they are giving so much mercy upon you. They are allowing you to be there, and they are saying, sir, you are my superior. I mean, how much a saintly heart you need to go through with this kind of situation. You can see the heart of Pandava. When his all 100 sons were killed, Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted, he could have killed his uncle, his elder, because this uncle is meant to be his father's elder brother. So he was treating him as his own father. He said, don't worry, your all sons are killed. Don't worry, we are not kicking out you from the kingdom. You can still live with us, and you can still live us as a king. They are the same children where Dhritarashtra was trying to kill them since their birth. But the same children are giving them what? A full honor and respect and all the name and fame and the wealth and proper care and guidance. And now Vidura has come to shake them. Shame on you. He is the same person that you were trying to kill Bhima. Now you are living in his house now, and you are eating his remnants. I mean, such an awkward situation. The person you are trying to kill, he allows you to stay at his home, and top of that, you are eating his remnant. Why a sadhu has to use such a hard word? In our mind, in our experience, we say sadhu never gets angry. Yes, this is a wrong conception. A sadhu never speak harsh word. It's a wrong conception. There is a use to use the harsh word. They get angry for only one person to shake you. Sometimes soft words doesn't work on us. That's why teacher has to yell and get angry on us to make the point and go into your mind, in your consciousness. Listen to me, I'm trying to say something to you. But our consciousness is so jada. Jada means it's like a stone. We are not able to hear the good advice of the sadhu. We are able to hear the good advice of the other outside materialistic people. So you can just speak so loud. Yeah. So it's a good advice they really neglect, and they take the bad advice from the world. If the scripture says something else, because it has been written by a sadhu. Who is that? Srila Prabhupada. He's coming from an acharya. He has written such a true information about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not believing on the words of his teaching. They are believing the words which has been thrown on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They think these words are the absolute truth. These are just fairy and tale story. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever heard it? Has anybody, does the Google say anything about all this knowledge? Google, any man can create any channel, they can throw any kind of knowledge in there, and you think this knowledge is correct. Why don't you read the Vedic scripture properly by your own hand? Why do you trust the words of some materialistic people? Like, so many people are there outside, they have got some kind of a degree on philosophy, religion, and many other, and they become PhD, like a doctor in their field. Do they have a right to give their commentary on a spiritual subject matter? But they are giving it, and we foolish, we are accepting them. Oh, do you know who is this person? He has been studied in Harvard. He's a doctor of philosophy. Okay, we must read his book. But a saintly person is writing, no, 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 no. Who is he? Do we know him? Is he very famous? Has he been to any schools and universities? No. So why we should read him? Come on. Bhakti or spiritual knowledge only a spiritual person can give you. Okay, by studying material degree, getting some, becoming a doctor, a so-called doctor of the PhD level, doesn't give you a right to give your commentary on a spiritual subject matter, because that person has not gone through with any spiritual training. He doesn't have a spiritual master, he doesn't have a spiritual knowledge. So which kind of knowledge or commentary he will give on a spiritual subject matter? A completely bogus, because he is using his mind of thinking, projecting, using spiritual books to throw his mind of knowledge in the world, and foolish people, they grab it. One person, I'm just trying to preach him, and I'm trying to make him, please read, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, they are authoritative books. And anyway, he was say, okay, okay. One day he sent me a message. He says, look, this professor from Oxford, he also talk about Krishna. He's also talk about to read Bhagavad Gita. And I'm thinking, what? If this person is not there, will you not believe on the words of Bhagavad Gita? Because he's saying, then you are thinking now this Bhagavad Gita is bona fide. But one sense, it's good. At least he's accepting somebody to read Bhagavad. Somehow they read Bhagavad Gita. I said, Prabhu, Bhagavad Gita doesn't need anyone's testimony. Okay, that this book is genuine or not. Billions of lifetime these books are coming out, and is enlightening not on the earthly planet, heavenly planet and lower planet. Everybody is taking benefit of this book. But why do we read or print those testimony of the great people? Why? Because these people are known in the world. Okay, they have so many followers over there. So when they say anything, their followers will completely believe it. That's why if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a testimony of Mahatma Gandhi, and who's that? Um, Ral- yeah, Henry David. They're all great philosophers of their time in 80s and 90s, because they are so popular in their philosophy. Many people follows them. In more or less, they in those times, their philosophy was really attached to more or less close to spiritual knowledge. That's why it really makes sense. But nowadays, a philosophy is nowhere nearby spiritual. If you read them, it's completely atheistic philosophy, completely atheistic philosophy. And many people with the same nature, they appreciate it, and these people get what? Nobel Prize. Throwing atheistic formula or a philosophy in the market, they are getting prizes and lots of dollars. So that's why sadhu, sometimes they have to use the harsh word to shake the body to say, where are you going, you stupid rascals? Come over here. If you see, these words are not really appreciated from the mouth of a sadhu. But sometimes they do use it because sometimes it is necessary to shake the body, to shake your consciousness to come out. Like sometimes parents, when they are frustrated with us, they say, go die, go to hell. It's true or not? I have heard so many times from my parents because I have given them such a hard time. But does it really mean that they just want me to go and get and die? Because they are frustrated with my action. They told me so many times not to do this activity, and I keep doing it. I'm putting myself in a trouble, and I'm putting them in the trouble. So out of frustration, sometimes they just use those harsh words. You are a dog, you are a pig, you are this and that, go get out of my house and never come back. These words my parents told me. Why? Because I gave them the hard time. Money loss, energy loss, and sometimes I have to take them to the school, and my teachers are chastising me, chastising my parents too. What kind of a son is there? So for get frustrated from everyone, my parents has to yell at me to put me in the line. It's not because they are upset me or they don't like me. No, because they want me to be on the track. Some people are very easy to be on the track, and some hard note like me, they need a hammer, a constant hammer to be on the line. That's why Mahatma Vidura only came to the householder life. That's why Prabhupada also writes, a sadhu only goes to householder life just to enlighten them, then show them the mirror. This is what you are. Face it and don't stuck here. If you see the previous shloka out there, he was saying your old age is approaching you. You are already in your old age. Your teeth are falling, you cannot see properly, you cannot hear properly, you can eat properly, but still you are still thinking you are the king of Hastinapur, because you are getting so much honor from the people you have insulted. But you are still thinking, after I lost my son, I have been insulted by the nature, or whatever I did unfair to the Pandavas, it's all coming back to me, but still I'm thinking I am the king. I mean, such an illusion Dhritarashtra was there. So Mahatma Vidura has to come because he's so affectionate to his brother. He says, you have enjoyed enough. Please now leave this opulent, because when you become old, I don't know if you have felt or not, if you have 42 plus, 45 plus, body needs comfort. When you are young, you can sleep anywhere on the floor, and here and there you can do so much hard work. But as you are growing older and older and older, the body needs a more comfort, soft cushion bed or a seat to sit, a good food, not too much hard work from the bodily side, just relax, easy life. But if you see the person who is 2019, so passionate, hours and hours working, want to change the world, but do you think world ever changes? I was also one of them. Now I'm become 18 and 19, I'm gonna change the world, people will know a great hero has come in the world, he will do this and that. I was nowhere in the crowd of this material world, nowhere, unknown face. And I got humiliated by everywhere, from my work, from my body, from my mind, from my ideas, from my plan, from my, this partner, that partner, housemate, office mate, workmate, everywhere humiliated. Then what happened to my those plans to change the world? I was not able to change my own house, or own my idea, raise the question to change the ideas of other people. you know and that's what Mahatma Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra: had enough, you enjoyed, had enough. Now approach the spiritual life, because anytime spiritual, anytime the death can come. Please make your life perfect. Anyway, you have done so much sinful activity against the devotee of the Lord. Anyway, there is a death waiting for you very severely. Please leave this house, leave and just go away. And he says many other things, just to enlighten them, shaken them up. It says, do not think you are a king. It's a great illusion. Sometimes people, they just pump us with so many false designation, with so many false praise. Prabhuji, Mataji, you are the only one who has just come appear from the Goloka Vrindavan just to take us back to Godhead. You are a pure Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi. You do so much preaching, you do so much, management, you are so pure, this and that, bowing down and everything. And a person, he doesn't even do all these things, but the illusion is such a big, you start thinking, oh, people are noticing me, means I'm something. And you start living into that illusion. Oh, I have been recognized by few people. They just put my flyer on internet, I'm coming, this will happen, that will happen. And yes, I am the pure Vaishnava. And we know inside our life how much storm is there of lust, anger, greed is just going through. Then how are we going to enlighten others? Our own life is shaking. Our own ideas are shaking. Okay, our own health is shaking. Where are we going to enlighten others? It becomes very, very difficult. So step by step, if we just analyze our life step by step, we can find out, yes, I don't know, am I advancing or not, but strong enough, I am getting much more experience what I thought I used to be. When a new person, like when 19 years old boy, when he gets into the office, he has an idea, just within 1 year I'll be the CEO of the company. Within a 1 year, I'll be the manager. Within this, I will change this, I will take that, and I want people to follow me. But you can see how he's been humiliated at the work. So much politics. People are trying to, throw you out of the company because they just think you're just gonna take over their position, their name and fame. And same as it happens on the path of bhakti too. On the path of bhakti, there's so many false designation, praise, it will come. See, it is a duty of other Vaishnava and Vaishnavi to praise the sadhu, okay, because it purifies them. But that does not mean we start living in that praising cloud. The person who is accepting that praise, he also has his duty. Okay, people are doing because this is a culture of being in the Vaishnava society. We praise each other, we see their quality, we fan them, we encourage them. Okay, we try to be very nice to each other, but ultimately we need to work on ourselves. Yeah, if this person has said, but do I have that quality? Do I have that quality? Maybe I did something to somebody, they've been impressed by that, but that does not mean I'm that person. I'm also struggling. Otherwise, if we become puffed up by that praise, then our declining period had started, because we'll think we are the great. I'm the next Acharya. I'm a great person. Let me write the books. Let me, ask people to read my books. And so many other false prestige will come in our own mind. If it's not there, we will make it in our mind. Let me go to that place again and again because I get so much appreciation from that area. No, this is not the way we should live. As much as humble we can do, true humble, not just false humble. Bowing down in front of somebody, it's a good thing, especially in front of Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi. But it should be done in a very genuine mood, surrendering fully surrendering. Yes, yes, you are there to help us. Make sure I don't commit any offenses, even though I also have so many problems. But still, through my behavior, I should not make the other person upset. But how can you honor the sadhu when they come to your home? Is it just making a arti tray, ghee lamps offering and everything? No. Whatever they say from the Vedic scriptures, we must follow in our life. Apply. Application is very, very important. That way we can see the change in our life. Otherwise, we'll be the same person. We are sitting in a class, not following it. That means we just only sat physically, but we never applied the instruction. Means we never sat in the class. We said satsang. Yeah. What do you mean by satsang? Sangha means what?
Association.
Association. Keep that part aside. Sat means what?
True.
Truth. One sat means truth. Okay. In the association, of the sadhus, we understand the truth. So it's Sat Sangha. And Sat also means devotee. Satam Prasanga Mama Virya Samvido. Satam means also devotee of the Lord. So you are associating with the devotees of the Lord. Because devotees of the Lord, they will tell you about the truth. Okay? Sat Sangha. And Sat also means sadhu. Same thing. The devotee of the Lord. So in their association, we learn the truth. Because they are not using their own mental speculation. They are referring to the books. Srimad Bhagavatam is there, Bhagavad Gita is there, and many other things are there. So we learn with them, we apply. Otherwise, if we just become externally humble and we don't apply them, it will not cost them, because there are billions of people are there. He's constantly traveling, or you'll be in a problem. You may show up, Prabhuji, yes, I'm chanting Prabhuji, 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, I'm just doing it. But internally, you know, you are not doing it. And then you will be the same person where you were 10 years before and 10 years after. You will be the same person. Because the anchor is not there. You haven't lifted the anchor yet. Srila Prabhupada, he gives an example of a person. The whole village was going for a marriage. Okay, and they got on the boat in the night. They say over the night they can cross the river. It's too big. Okay, and in the morning they will go to other side of the village. Okay, no problem. So one person, he was rowing whole night, and in the morning they found out they are the same person where they were in the same situation, and they found out what has happened. He was saying whole night I was just rowing it, but my boat didn't move. Why? They found out they forgot to lift the anchor. The anchor was still there on the ground. So the anchor of our stubbornness or our foolishness not to follow the saintly people, it has to be lifted. That's where we can see our life is moving towards Lord Shri Krishna. Otherwise, we can, throw so many photos, putting sari on, dhuti kurta on, and tilak and taking picture. Now I am, join a Vaishnava society. It will not help anybody. It means we are not cheating them, we are cheating ourselves. So we need to be very, very truthful, honest to ourselves. We are here to get out of this material world. Otherwise, just wait. Just wait. This world will humiliate us. Just wait, No matter. Have you seen that photo? I have seen that a video on YouTube. I think it's a president of a France or somebody. I don't know where it was. He was just coming out of the plane. Okay, and media captured a few seconds of very thick, his wife was holding his neck. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Have you seen that? He's a president, and everybody bored, even the whole army is there, navy is the salute, and his wife not holding like this, holding like this, his neck. Such a humiliation. He may give the order to the whole country. His orders are so powerful. You can see that, yeah? His signatures are so powerful, no one can change it. He's a president, the number one post in the whole country, and he's been humiliated. And his wife hold his neck, and he saw the public is there to welcome him, and he's just fixing his neck, just waving like this. And I'm thinking, such a false face, he's been humiliated by his own wife, And guess what? I mean, it's just a one small thing captured. Maybe inside, everyone knows about their wife or husband, how they are doing it at their home. Outside, maybe they are, a good couple, but inside they know what they're going through. Yeah. So you can say, and I was thinking, man, look at that, such a the humiliation. He just got humiliated so badly in front of everybody. Wife didn't give a damn. You may be president outside. In my, I'm the president. On the neck like that. I'm thinking, I said, such a humiliation. And this person is thinking he's so powerful. And that's where this happened to Dhritarashtra here. He's been captured insulted by Bhima, insulted by Arjuna. They killed all his 100 sons and all that. All the possession was now under them, but he was still thinking he was still a king. Such a false designation. Okay, I'll stop here and see if anybody has any questions. So I would like to answer. Just use that microphone. Yeah.
Prabhu, you were talking about humility
Yeah,
and the difference between, false humility and actually feeling it
yeah,
within the heart. So, you know, we chant like Trinata Pishinechina,
yeah,
that verse, and
yes,
regarding being humble, and I try to imbibe humility sometimes, but it's not actually,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
within the heart.
Sure,
So,
sure, sure.
how do I go about actually having true humility within the
See,
heart? And
humility, yeah,
does it
go.
only come from, like someone that's humble giving
Yeah,
you
yeah,
their
yeah. Both,
mercy?
both are there. It says Sayan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nisevana. By serving the sadhu who has got those qualities will automatically come into your life. Okay, like if you do not know how to distribute books, just associate with those people, serve with those people, those who are doing those quality will automatically will come to you. And one day you will say, hey, I also started doing books now. If you don't know how to do kirtan, just associate with those people, those who are doing it. You will also be get learn how to do kirtan. Okay, and how to be humble, just associate with those people, those who are doing it. But humble mean does not mean you are bowing down with your body, like putting your eyes down and seeing like this and walking like this. It's not a bodily physical gesture. The real humiliation, humbleness means following the order of Guru and with the scripture 100%. That's called humbleness. A person may be rough and tough in his appearance, you know, but he's humble inside because he's following the Guru's order very, very strictly. That's called humbleness. Humbleness not means you just need going down all the time and Prabhuji, can you do this seva? No, Prabhuji, I'm very humble. I cannot do it. I mean, this is not what it means. Okay, physically he may be tough. He just ruling one temple, just saying you do this, you do that, because he has to maintain the temple. He's in very tough, very hard in his appearance, but inside he's constantly meditating upon the Lord, following the instruction of his guru or the founder acharya, or the Prabhupada, or the instructions are there in the book. That's called real humbleness. And when you start to follow those instructions as per your life, slowly slowly, because not all the instruction you can follow in one night or in 1 hour, because every instruction has its preparation. When you slowly slowly follow, then you will see those instructions are making you humble. I tell you, there's one devotee in Sydney, in Australia. His Guru Maharaj likes his devotee to distribute books, his students. But it's not any hard and fast and thick rule, because not everyone can do it. If you are good into cooking, then he will say you, okay, you can cooking. But his mood is to distribute as many as books you can distribute outside. And he's a householder, okay, Indian fellow, IT wala. He's an householder. And this fellow make a vow to please his guru, not just by saying it, Guru Maharaj, I'm going to do this, but his own meditation. He took a vow in himself, no matter what happens, how busy am I there, I always go for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours for books. So after work, 4 or 5 o'clock, when he finishes, he doesn't come home till 8 o'clock. He's on the road. He's distributing books in his proper suit and belt, because he took a vow that today I'm gonna please, or throughout my whole life I'm gonna please like this. And even though sometimes he's late, he stand for half an hour or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It's not that he has to stay for 1 hour, because he has his family and kids to give time, wife to give time, and buy shopping, grocery. He has to do everything. But he took a vow inside that no matter what happened, because he was traveling in a public transport. So wherever he gets time, he just does books. So this is a real humiliation. How many people know that he's doing it? How many people know? Is he not advertisement, just taking a picture? Prabhu, please take a book, and I'm taking a picture, posting on Facebook, just showing the world I'm doing book distribution. No one knows him. But those who knows him, that's are enough to know. Guru and Gauranga. They know it, what he's doing for the movement. We are not here to advertise ourselves. I've done so much, this lecture, we were there. Yes, we encourage people to know, and those who are not feeling encouragement, they can say, oh, these people are doing something, so let me go and help them. If you do in that mode, that it's okay. But advertising, even in 11th canto, Lord Krishna says to Uddhava, never ever advertise your sadhana. Never ever advertise your sadhana, because it's a private. Hold it. Makes sense? Because when you do this, you will get false prestige, pride, recognition, and they are the greatest hindrance of your bhakti. They are the greatest hindrance for it. So make it private. If people wants to take the photo, let them take. But you don't do from your side. Make sense? So humbleness is follow the order of Guru and Gauranga as far as you can go. Sometimes we do 10%, 20%, 50% instruction. Sometimes we don't do. But ultimately, in our back of our mind, this meditation has to go on. No, I have to one day come to the perfection. I have to do 100%. Prabhupada, when he got instructed by his spiritual master that when he was 22 years old or 21 years old, now go to Western countries and preach. Did he immediately left? Oh, no, my guru has said, where's my bag? I'm going away. It took him 40 years. He was, but in back of his mind, he was constantly meditating. I have to fulfill the order of my Guru Maharaj. Okay. He says, I have 2 kids. They are young. My wife is still pregnant. Okay. And I have to establish my work, my business. How can I go to Western world? He was constantly meditating, constantly meditating. But whatever he can do being as a householder, he did. Wherever he went, he called all his god brothers, sannyasi, please come. My house is open for you. You preach. I will cook. I will sponsor everything. All I want you, please, you just come and preach. So he's been in the background. He did everything for every day until he took sannyasa or he just started traveling. And from there also, he was asking all his god brothers, please come and help me. I will help you. I will help you. But there was no help out there. So if somebody is there, do it. If somebody is not there, you do alone. Because this is our own personal spiritual life to grow. Okay, anybody else? So
It seems like we've been.
it seems like
When it seems like we've been hypothetically rowing for a long time, and then morning comes.
Growing.
Rowing.
Rowing. Yeah.
And then morning comes, and we realize that the anchor of our foolishness hasn't moved an
Yeah.
inch. How do we avoid being discouraged
You know the solution.
when we actually start realizing how far we are?
If you are so perfect to perform your material duties, what's wrong with perfecting or performing your spiritual duty? Who's stopping you? Do you ever say
Your
to
own
your
anchor
boss?
stopping you.
Do you ever say to your boss that, boss, I'm trying to come to the office? Do you ever say? Even though you are sick, even though on Sunday night you have come late 2 o'clock in the morning, and next morning 7 o'clock you need to start your work, can you say that, boss, last night I was just on the weekend, I went to Miami, flight got delayed, sorry, I'm not gonna come. You have to do. Prabhupada says, many people say, Prabhu, we are trying. Prabhupada said, that means you are not doing it. I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to eat. I'm trying to breathe. You're not trying, you're doing it. You have to do it. If you are saying you are trying, means you are not doing it. There's no trying. Boss, I'm just trying to come to work. Boss, I'm trying to be or there at sharp at 9 o'clock. He doesn't give a damn how's your private life is going or your householder life is going. You made a contract 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Either you leave your breakfast, either you leave your sleep, or either you're sick. Take some painkiller, Panadol, be there at work. So that strong determination is there. What's wrong with the spiritual life? See, Ram came, last night, 11:30. He just drove us all the way from Rochester to here. I was completely flat. I could not wake up, but he has to do his duty. He got at 4:30. He just opened the window, welcomed the Lord. He just did his duty. What is this? It's called perfection. Detailing in your spiritual life. If your wife asks you, go and just buy this, shops and things for food, pay this bill. Can you say, I'm just trying to pay the utility bill? You just do it by any means. If you don't have a cash, you use credit card. Because you know that if you don't pay it, they will cut down. You are fear of the consequences. So why you are not fear of the consequences? If I don't perform my spiritual duty, I have to take another birth, and that's very costly. It's very costly to take another. You have to do the same thing what you are doing in this material world again. Start from zero, ABCD. You learn, go school, diaper change, this change, everything is changed, partner change, life change. Then again you come back. And excuse is, I'm trying to do spiritual life. Because if you're trying, mean that you will be keep trying for many more births. You have to do it, you have to do it. There's no option here. I'm trying. Trying person will stay here again, Prabhu. That's a simple form. That's what here. Today shloka is there. Get out, you fool. You enjoyed enough. Falsely. Get out. That's what the sadhu do. Sorry, huh? What to do? That's how the strong words are there. Make sense? There's no trying. If we have to do it, we have to do it. Because we know we need to get out of this material world. So there is a price for it. And price we need to know. And Prabhupada made it so simple. 16 rounds, 4 active principles, just association. And that we cannot do it, then where is the hope to go? There's no hope. There is no hope. Because I know that I just worked in the world, in a material world, and I was so lucky that I was very gentle in my approach to my boss and everybody, but the way they treated me so badly, I had such a bad taste. I don't want to look back there to that life again. I don't care. He was so good with my work, my boss, previous boss, material boss at my work. He was so pleased by my work. He was treating me very badly, but he was so pleased with my work. I made him excuse. Sir, I'm going to India and I'll be back in 3 weeks. He says, okay, make sure you come. But I was entering into Brahmacharya ashram. And I entered. 1 year, he was keep calling me. He was keep sending me an email, please come back, contact me.
Wow.
I didn't bother. I'm not gonna go. And I was so happy that Krishna showed me that bad face of the material world. And I have no even one person. I don't have a desire to look back. Shall I go there and try this? No. All my tastes are gone. I'm so happy there. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Prabhu, you start.
How to get out of the bubble where we believe that we are the kings, like
How do we get out the bubble of where we are?
where we believe that we are the king, like
We are?
king.
Oh, we are the king.
Like how the statue will get out.
Yeah. Prabhu, say, I'm not saying that. Just take it as a joke. This point. He says on the day of marriage, I'm the king for the day and slave for the whole life. Is it true or not? Is it true or not? I'm not joking. See, don't say I'm in the ashram of Brahmacharya and I'm saying like this. This is a saying of the whole world.
Ram received the
See, the wife is saying, I'm not joking. Yeah, Mahotsa.
Sent me that exact text message
Yeah.
on the day of my wedding.
On the day of your wedding. Well, this is the bubble. On the bubble, everybody will treat you like a king. You're holding a sword. Your mustache is up there, and then next day your mustache is down. You are not in your wedding dress. You are in your short. Mopping floor. That's the bubble. You will know. Your world will teach you.
So basically, the world will make us
Means,
realize.
world will make you humble, but before it will make you humble in a bad way, you surrender yourself. Very scripture says, before your attachment leaves you, you leave the attachment voluntarily.
But how to do that? Like
In
even
the association,
Dhritarashtra.
by learning. Babu, this is not a black and white thing. You can go to the shop and bring, humility, bring. This is bring here. No, that's what we learn here in the sadhu, in the association, case by case. In case by case, you know what is the reality. You know what is the reality, and just be humble and just do not make yourself as a king. Bhagavatam says, make yourself as a servant. So if you are in a servant mode, in serving, because by nature we are serving anyway to the whole world. We are serving our senses, we are serving our boss, we are serving our family members, we are serving the country, the society, caste, everybody we are serving. So serve the better person. His reciprocation is wonderful. He'll take you back to Godhead. Punar janma na vidyate. You will not never take birth again in this life. But if you have served like you are saying, you are 30 years old man, in your 30 years you have served so many people, and check out their appreciation. Insult only. Not enough, and it's never be enough. it will never. Just serve the best person and just do your best. Be a good husband, be a good son, good brother, good father, whatever you want to play the role of those things. Do play it, but internally you need to meditate. My big role is I have to be a good servant of the Lord, because it's enough for billions of lifetime. I'm playing the role of someone's wife, husband, brother, sister, father, mother. Every role I'm playing, but the one role I forgot to play, the role of being a servant of the Lord. That's why I have to come back again to play the role of the servant of the whole world again. So that's how it is. You just read, all the case studies are there. Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas are there. If some people say, is there anybody who followed that shloka, that followed instruction? That's where Srimad Bhagavatam comes with a case study. Yes, there was a king in that time. He did this, his life became perfected like this. So you just follow those instructions. Nothing hard. I think she needs one.
Prabhuji, I have a question. Like,
Louder.
I have a question. Like, you told earlier, like, when we are young, like, 18, 19, 20, we are so passionate. We wanted to like do this, that. And once we progress in age, we kind of slow down, and our body also kind of organs and everything slow down. And we need like, something like comfortable bed or something. So how to like, overcome that and, be situated like to do good bhakti practice.
By reading the books, you can see the examples are there.
Okay.
By speaking to your spiritual masters and other senior Vaishnavas, because they will bring the best out of your life. It's not that you need to do everything what others are doing. What is your nature, and he will give you the instruction as per your nature. You do this service for the Lord. It's not that you need to construct a big temple for the Lord, do books for the Lord, do cooking for the whatever you want to desire. Many times, if you see Srila Prabhupada times, whoever comes and they say, Prabhupada, please give us order. We want to serve the Lord. Prabhupada say, oh, very good. What do you want to do? No, Prabhupada, you tell us what we want to do. No, you tell me what you want to do. Because when you express your nature, then with your nature, you can do the best. But if somebody asks you something which you have never done or you don't want to do, and it's against your nature, you will suffer. Okay, but some services some spiritual master give, even though it's not your nature, but with their blessings you can do it. Make sense? So we need to consult with our seniors, with our spiritual master. That's why spiritual master takes up the role and he brings the best out of your life. Okay, so you can say, okay, what can I do for the Lord? And he will ask you, what's your profession? Are you IT wala? Are you doctor? Are you this? Are you that? Or are you a doctor? Many Vaishnavas get sick in the society. Please, you just serve them freely, advise them freely. So that should be the survey, and it pleases the Lord. And it pleases the Guru, it pleases the Lord. If you're IT wala, okay, you can just make the website for the temple, put some ideas, make some flyers, do this and that. So he will encourage you in that way. We need to take some austerity, Mataji. See, getting up, going to the work Monday to Friday with the same time, with the same enthusiasm, even though you don't want to go. When I say, what's your face? Your face looks like Monday. Means boring face. No one wants to go to work on Monday. And there is a Friday face. Yeah, smiley face, because it's holiday. Even though you don't want to or you do want to, still you have to go. So just do for the pleasure of the Lord. Just keep aside all your desires that, if I'll do this, I will be happy. Just do the needful also. Sometimes we have to do the needful also. Even though I'm sick, but there's no one to do the service, let me do it. So it pleases the Lord. It attracts the mercy of the Lord. So we have to come out of our comfort zone voluntarily. That is austerity. Doing donations when I have $1,000. Yes, I have, because my earning is good. I'm giving big, and now I lost my job. I cannot give. If you give in that time, that's a great austerity. The great austerity. If you don't have a job for 2-3 years, now you are thinking, let me give some donation to the temple. That it pleases the Lord. He has nothing. He's barely eating or living, but still out of that he's giving you something that attracts us. That's called surrender. That's called surrender in there. Even though your health is not okay, still you want to do something for the Lord. It's good. It attracts.
One, I want to thank you for coming in. It looked to be a bleak morning. You know, it's like just me and Prabhu here at the time we were supposed to gather. I was like, oh man, it doesn't look like anyone's gonna come. And then all of a sudden, everyone just piled in. So we're very happy. I wanted to share something Raghunath Das Goswami said about actually Divyanshu's question, which is I thought quite profound. Like, how do you get out of this? I'm the king, you know. I'm, you know. So you know, how to get rid of pride. And what he says is in the Manashikshas, the first verse, he says, Guru goshte goshtala yishu sujane basuragane swamantre shrinamni vrajanava yuva dvandva sharane sada dambang hitva kururati mapurva matataram. That's the answer. Is he's saying always giving up your pride. He's saying sada dambam hitva kururatim, perform with love. Sorry. Sadadambam hitva kururatim apurva matitaram. This unprecedented, with like unprecedented intense love towards Guru, towards the Dham, towards the saints in the Dham, the Brahmins, the Vaishnavas, the Brahmins. You were kind of saying this. You have to get up. You have to do your duties, like your diksha mantras, the holy name. All of these things we're told to do. Like we just, instead of thinking we're the king, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and this instead, and we just like do what like our acharyas told us to do. You know, if we just do that thing, you know, we can actually begin overcoming this pride. There's a whole set of layers Raghunath Das Goswami gives, but that's the beginning. You know, and what you like kind of guru. That's the first word.
The association. The association will unfold you all the path to go back to Godhead. Because slowly we just learn from the seniors. We render service, and every day chanting rounds, holy name, every day doing service, something to the Lord. It polishes our heart. See, you see your life when the day you all have come. Okay, first time when you read Bhagavad Gita, what did you grab from it? Barely nothing, or barely anything, because completely it was new to you. Yeah, for 365 days, which is 1 year. You chanted every day, you did service every day, you ate prasadam every day, your heart, your consciousness got cleansed. And when you read next year Bhagavad Gita, oh, where was this information? I didn't read it, I missed out. And next year you do the same thing. Because last night we were having this program in Rochester. Srila Prabhupada disciple Mataji says, I have been 55 years in the movement. Where was this information? Even though I was reading Bhagavatam every day. So every day that Bhagavatam unfolds you as per the consciousness, how much you have polished throughout the 1 year. Every time you read Bhagavatam, every time you find. When I started, first time when I read, I was marking highlighters. You know, oh, this is important line, this is important instruction. Next year, my Bhagavad Gita became more orange. And next year it became more, and I'm thinking the whole line is important. I don't need to highlight anything because everything is important. Highlight means what? Something is very important from the paragraph. But I found the whole paragraph is so important. There is no point for me to highlight everywhere. So it depends how much you cleanse your heart. Cheto darpan marjanam. The chitta is like a mirror. It has to be polished every day. The more it is clean, the more you can see the clear picture in material world and spiritual world. What is my position as a so-called falsely king in the material world, but who actually I am? Prabhupada says, this one story is there of pastime Prabhupada. He says, look at the illusion of this college and university. They tell you we'll give you a master degree, but they make you a servant. He said, they give you a master degree, but you are like a dog just waving your tail at every door asking for a job. Sir, you are asking me to come at 9 o'clock, I'll come 7 o'clock, 2 hours early. If you're asking me to go 5 o'clock, I will go at 7 o'clock, 2 hours after that. Please give me a job. But here you are saying, I have done master degree. Master is begging like a servant. See, such a illusion. Master degree, but acting like a servant. See, job is such a scam. To go to your own home, you have to ask for a permission. Sir, can I go back to my home? and you are saying at home the king has come. Where is my wife? Where is my queen? Where's the arti tray? Get it. For the flowers on the road. King is walking. He just 9 hours like a servant worked. Baby stale. And now at home he's just showing his wife he's a king. Oh my God. Hare Krishna. Sorry, that's our Prabhupada. He just opened the reality. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Mataji, please you can use the mic. Hey.
Can you? Yeah, sorry.
Abhiram. Yeah.
So it's kind of building off what you're already talking about, but you're talking about following, the sadhus and the seniors and everything, and just following what they're saying.
But with intelligent.
Yes, with
Our own
intelligence.
intelligence. Yeah.
But I think it's easier to like take instruction from like guru
Yeah.
than it is necessarily like a senior or like depending on senior, for example here.
Yeah.
Right, like who's the seniors
Yeah.
here, like that's like, and then
Yeah.
even in other places, and you have other people in your life that like might be your senior, but you might not be able to recognize them as your senior.
Yeah.
Or you do recognize their senior,
Yeah.
but you don't, guru, you try and give everything, but it's not like that with most other people.
Yeah.
So like, by nature we're very, and I'm speaking about myself, but
Sure,
we're
sure,
very
sure.
independent, and like
Yeah.
I'm very independent. I've been independent my whole life.
Yeah.
I still have that very much conditioning, probably from so many other lives.
Yeah.
So, on a regular basis to take instruction, from a senior, it's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
When guru
Yeah.
gives instruction, that's one thing. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
guru,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so how do you, because this like level of like Sharanagati, it's seemingly
Yeah.
so far, and
Yeah.
and I've seen practically in my life when I do just like submit,
Yeah.
actually things are so much easier
Hmm.
and so much more simple,
Hmm.
but just the conditioning is to be
Yes,
like,
yes.
right away, no, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like it's just like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
right.
strong.
That's right. Yeah.
So like what to do?
But see, if you have your spiritual master, your master is there already.
Yeah.
Now, as I say, you have two masters in your life, your husband and your spiritual masters.
Yeah.
So the duty of a lady, of such as, and especially when she is someone's wife, her only dharma is, which is spoken by who? Bhishma Dev, to serve her husband.
Mm.
That's the only dharma. Because when the husband is engaged in the service of spiritual master and guru, so whatever he will do, she will automatically gain 50% out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to assist your husband, so he's free from the household duty, so he can be performed fully 100% to the order of the guru and Gauranga. That's how she's peaceful.
Yes.
If she starts to become independent, then she'll be in a problem.
Yes, this is it.
Because there's so many,
The
because there's so many.
problem.
Yeah. No, not only you.
Yeah, it's like Western
for
conditioning.
everyone. Not even Mother India also. If you see the Indian tradition or the Vedic tradition, if especially my mom, if I talk about, because I've seen her doing it. If any other neighboring ladies comes or somebody comes and Mataji, would you like to come to this program? We are just going there. It's for half an hour of her. She always says, I have to speak to my husband.
Mm.
Okay, I have to speak to my husband. Don't worry, just half an hour, we can come and go. Still, I have to inform him.
Mm.
She never took the step out of the house without informing my dad where she is going.
Mm.
If he allows, then my mother goes. But my father never ruled her like, no, you have to be at no. He says, why do you want to go? What is the purpose? Oh, just for the, okay, go, make sure you are on time.
Mm.
Because kids will come from school and college, they need to be fed on time, because I'll be there too. So, wife has to be at home to take care of that. If she's whole hours she's away, kids are starving and there's no food on the table, what's the point of doing going to the program?
Yes.
So the Vedic scripture tells the duties of the wife and duties of the husband. So the husband is also there, make sure she's happy at home. She needs proper clothing, proper food, proper take care, proper time. So his duty and her duty both goes like that. But the problem is no one understands their duties and they jump into the well and they find out what I'm supposed to do as a husband, what she's supposed to do as a wife.
Mm.
That's where they figure, first you get trained by your your mom, your elders, and he's been trained by the guru, his own father. Okay, you are going to take up a role of a husband. These are the things you need to do with your wife. And then after that, if you become a father, then as a father, what are your duties? So everybody should know their duties and then jump in there.
This training though is almost like extinct,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, of course, it's what extent.
like,
That's why we learn it here, Mataji. That's why
Yeah.
we learn it here, and it's not an issue. And I'm pretty much sure your spiritual master also told you
My-
serve your husband.
yeah.
That's it. Every spiritual master gives the same idea, and whatever instruction has to give, he will give to the man. Okay,
Yes.
make sure you just take care of your wife. She has proper time, proper food, proper clothing on her body, and serve whatever you can serve to the mission. Maybe you can open a temple, you can open like this kind of center, preach, whatever you can do. And then in this way, if she's taking care of the kid, that husband is free from the household duty, he can do nice thing.
Mhm.
Example is there in Canto 3, Kardama Muni
Mhm.
and Mother Devhuti. Who she was?
Mother
She was the
of
princess.
Yeah.
She was the princess, and she was not the princess just like ordinary. She was so beautiful. As I was saying last night, a Gandharva was flying in a plane, and he saw her beauty. His jaw dropped, and he dropped from the plane too.
He fell out of the plane.
He just fell out of the plane. The beauty, and she has so much wealth, and she's a princess. And his father was the emperor, not just the ordinary king of a street. He was the real king. Okay, he was not just an ordinary king of the street or a state or a country. His emperor means the king of the king of the king of the king, and he is the one who wrote Manu Samhita, means how a human should behave in this material world.
Oh,
What
I
are
didn't
his
know that.
duties?
I
It's
didn't-
called Manu Samhita.
The king wrote.
Yeah, him. Sarvabhauma. Yeah, Swambhu Manu. Swambhu Manu.
Oh.
So he's the one who just wrote all this information for, because he's the first Manu. He was the first Manu. Okay, he just wrote it. And then his wife, she was so well trained. Even though your husband, he has no mansion, no bungalow, no car, no nothing, he's just a sage in a hut, you have to go and serve him. And she humbly accepted the order of her father. She was completely there. She never raised any question. She never asked, I need so many dresses, so many, whatever was available, she made the best out of it. And husband was completely meditating, and one day he realized, oh, my wife, she's so skinny. A princess mean what? So much jewelry on the body, nice fine silk cloth, and such a glowing beauty, everything. And now she's completely become like a skeleton. White all hair, not properly combed, not dressed, not eaten enough good food, whatever was there in the forest, root, fruits and everything. She was only barely surviving. She never complained at all. But by saying, because he was so powerful in his mystic power, he said, oh my God, now my time has to come to take care of my wife. And he says, I bless you, whatever I have done, I'll give you 50% out of that. I mean, that's what the role, But problem is, a wife has to be chaste and very loyal and faithful to the husband. Then it will work. But if she's not chaste and faithful, and then it's a problem.
On the other hand, what about the
Here,
husbands?
you need-
On the other hand, the husband is not always qualified, or even maybe has some qualification, but then because he thinks he's the king,
Yeah.
next thing you know, he starts mistreating his position or demanding things. So how to understand when that's happening?
Now then he will find out soon, because the karma is there, it will fire back.
Yes.
The karma is there, it will fire back. That's why it's very important. The Vedic culture is there, that kids should know whether they are a boy or a girl in their early age. They should know all this information about the Vedic scriptures. Okay, I am a man, so what is my duty as a man? How far there is a line to cross over? That's why Gurukul is there, to control the senses. Seeing all the ladies as the mother, and treat them as a mother until they find their own love by the blessings of the guru or the parents, or they find themselves. So when they get their one lady, so stick to one lady. No need to go and poke everywhere. So that's how it is. I mean, time will teach us, our own karma, our own action will teach us. So there are many things are involved.
So
Okay, thank you very
Haribol.
much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Thy God
Param Brahma
Premanande.
Guru ki jai.